We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to Trench Talk. With WDC and DJ Tantrum.
Oh man,
You like that? You like that?
oh man, yeah.
Shouts out to DJ Tantrum for that mix this morning, man. We dropped that
Wow.
this morning, man. Put that together for the show. Kick off our series.
That was a good surprise there. Yes.
All right. Well, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. This is Trench Talk. I'm your host. I am Farron Dozier, retired Sergeant First Class.
And I'm Specialist Fourth Class, Veneric Marshal, Army. It was a question asked about us about birthdays.
Yeah.
Of the military
yeah.
birthdays.
Caught me off guard.
Yeah, exactly.
Caught me
So-
off guard. So.
Yeah, so am I because I don't know. I don't remember.
Caught me off guard. So I like to phone a friend. But we want to thank you for tuning in today. This is Trench Talk. We're back live with you with the series this month of November. The whole month is on PTSD, PTS, and we're going to have soldiers here, warriors here, sharing their story about their life experience and how it relates to these different levels of PTSD and PTS and just being a warrior overall. So I have a guy who is has been here before, retired Sergeant Major from Marine Corps. Please introduce yourself to the listeners.
Sergeant Major Schickel, Marine Corps.
You got to get closer
Bring
to the
your
mic
mic,
there,
yeah, bring
my
your
man.
mic.
Get
Live.
A little bit closer.
Yeah, don't be
There you go.
afraid.
Good?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Welcome back.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back.
Thanks. I'm glad to be back.
Hey,
Glad to be back.
I just want to thank you when you came from coming on the show, when you were here, and just the progress that we have made together and making a difference and the work that you do with our warriors in the community across California.
Thank you.
I really appreciate what you do, and hopefully people can see and follow in your footsteps and keep this going because it's definitely required.
Well, just remember what I've been telling you. You know, we're only as good as the resources we surround ourselves with. So
Yeah.
having the ability to tap into a plethora of resources that are out there, that's the key ingredient there to their successful transition.
Definitely.
So-
And just remind the listeners who you are and a little bit.
Sergeant Major Schickel, retired, 30 years of service. I participated in combat operations in Iraq, and I currently work for the California Department of Veterans Affairs as a veterans services analyst, I guess you could say, an
Yeah.
outreach guy, and out shaking hands and kissing babies. You know?
That's it. Thank you.
That's good, man.
For being
Thank you
back.
for your service, man. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate the
You
fact
too.
that you're out there in the trenches, get elbow deep, knee deep, and with the tools that you need to make that road accessible for us to come behind you, alongside with you, and all that kind of stuff.
I appreciate it. Appreciate having me.
Yeah.
Well, I had someone that was going to call in and talk about PTS. There's no.
Not yet.
So-
So and also, I do have the number up on the screen. So for those who may want to call, but for that gentleman that's going to call, the number is 323-473-3100. So come on, call in.
We're waiting on
We're
you,
waiting on you.
but we're not going to stop the show. So I just want to introduce our special guest
Yes.
for today.
Yes.
Luis Chavez, thank you for accepting our invitation on Trench Talk.
Thanks for having me here.
This platform was created. It was like a dream come true for both of us on two different spectrums because I always had a dream of having soldiers come together and share their stories with fellow soldiers or service members or warriors. And when I came to this network, I met Van, and they had the same kind of concept. I think there was going Veterans Day.
Yeah, Veterans Day,
And-
but God wasn't ready for it to actually be born. And like you said, once she came along,
They
in God's
accepted.
time,
We connected, and we just put our
Yes.
programs together, and here we are with Trench Talk.
That's great. That really is.
So and we just want to be able to share stories, but also provide resources and information, whatever those warriors could need. If it's from homeless to women of trauma, whatever they could need, we want to be able to find it and give that help to them.
Exactly, because when they see and hear you come to the station and talk about the things that affected you and how you dealing with the everyday life, it can encourage other vets like myself and like others to also say, well, I'm not going to let nothing discourage me anymore because there's people out there like us.
The success stories. We want people the community to understand the success stories, and not to have that veteran, that veteran term, just like they separate us as we're human beings. We serve, but that to me that word veteran has desensitized the community so much that we want to just let them know that we're human beings and we have we're human.
We're human. We bleed. We have our ups and downs, and we feel.
Sometimes people forget we also grow up around them. Our friends forget it.
Exactly.
Our family forget it.
Yes.
And when you get here, they just expect you to be who you were
When you
4,
left.
5, 2 years ago.
Exactly.
But they got to understand that the things that we've done, the path that we've taken, it ultimately, we paid an ultimate price. We did.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's hard to even show. It's hard to explain. It's hard to everything.
Yeah.
Before we get started, I just want to say something here.
Yes.
I'm bringing him here because, I'm very proud of him. He came to me a year ago, December. It'll be a year, and I wound up connecting with him, and he was really in dire need of some support and some guidance.
It's okay, sorry, but you can say it.
Well, no,
I was homeless.
And it shouldn't be.
Nah.
He's come a long way, and I'm really, really proud of him because he's kept his head in the game.
Right.
He's actually followed my guidance. He's followed the guidance of those that he's been around, that's been supporting him, and he truly is a walking success story. And I'm hoping that by this show and extending out that he's going to hopefully, once he shares his story, influence others that may be out there that there's hope out there. There's hope out there, and to never give up.
Definitely.
And
And for people to understand, if you're not military connected, that PTSD is a human being issue. It's not just a veteran soldier issue. You can have PTSD from almost a car accident or almost having one, or some traumatic situation in your life that causes that.
Exactly.
So it's not just a veteran issue that the stigma, that the stereotype is beginning to put on our fellow warriors.
Like yesterday, that shooting at LAX,
Mm-hmm.
the people who was there, that's a form of PTSD right there.
Exactly.
Especially
Dealing with something.
Dealing with something like that, especially if you right next to that situation, it's like, oh my God, it just happened. So on and so forth.
So, Louis, just let you know, you're again, we thank you for coming here. We can relate to you. We've been in situations. I've been depressed 2 years. I know what that feels like. And so just, if we can start, like, who is Louis Chavez?
Well, Luis Chavez grew up in California.
Yeah.
Just a happy-go-lucky guy, just wanting to make a difference in this world. And I'm a son of immigrants, so I wanted to show our country what we come and bring to the table.
Right.
With us as lower ethnicity people. And
Of
I'm
course.
not saying that it's only just us ethnicities. I've met people who are also Caucasian who live where I live, and we all want to strive to be different people,
Exactly.
better people, and whatnot. So, I mean, since I was a child, I just grew up with my parents. We had seven siblings.
Okay.
Me being the middle one. And I guess trying to get a voice out
Right.
would be the best one, right?
How was it being that middle child out of the 7? What was that like? Because you're like, you got the younger ones, you got the older ones. Where did you play your role at?
I played both sides of the spectrum, man.
Yeah.
Learning to be a chameleon, learning to be just around people, having just that people skills.
Yeah.
That likability.
Exactly.
Remember being in middle school and seeing all the service members coming through, and just the Marine guy, the way his uniform was, the way he upheld himself, and I saw that, and ever since middle school, I was like, I'm gonna be a Marine.
You knew that was
that was
your path, huh?
And it's funny because even when I was in high school, my counselors would be like, "You got to go to college. You got to do better than this." Like, you know what? No, I'm gonna be a Marine. That's what I want to be. I don't need to hear what you guys are gonna tell me. I'm gonna be a Marine, hands down, regardless.
There you go. Outstanding.
And I would once they got to that part, I mean, I had all kinds of activities I could do, like wrestling, football, weightlifting. Of course, I was young, so I was partying with my friends and whatnot. Doing everything that a youngster would do. Come time to graduate from high school, I'm talking to my mom, like, hey, Mom, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
But keeping the secret from everybody else, knowing in my mind I was going to be an infantryman. Knowing that, I kept telling everybody I was going to be an MP, so to ease their mind.
So let's talk. Come up to the mic a little bit more.
Oh, sorry about that.
Why was it such a secret of the infantryman versus the MP? Why?
I knew what I was going to put myself in front of.
Uh-huh.
I knew the dangers, and I knew that my mother, which is one of the biggest things for me, to help get me through things.
Right.
I knew she wouldn't accept it. She was a big person of stress. All she did was stress about her children and making things better. So I kind of kept it off her mind.
Uh-huh.
And I commend you for that, because moms are an important part of the family as well as the father. And yes, she don't need to worry about any other of her children. And people know, even though they may not know the extent. I'm talking about civilians, may not know the extent of what military people go through, but they know what infantry means. So,
I mean, definitely, the foot soldier is the one that's on the ground. So
yes, front line, and this is the image that, unfortunately, the military and the government and the media puts the military in their eyes of ground troops and the infantry, that they are the pawns, they are the ones who are sacrificed for the good of the country. So any parent hate to hear that that's where their son or their daughter is going to wind up.
So who did you share with anybody during their childhood that the infantry was the number one?
Probably just my recruiters.
That was it? You kept
I really didn't tell anybody, not until the day that I was actually going to ship out. Well, let me backtrack one more time. Just a little more. So as I'm graduating from high school, I'm letting my mom know I'm about to go. She was kind of hesitant about it. She's like, she knew the person that I was, very outgoing, I'm down to do the crazy stuff.
Right.
So, 3 months, it's 3 months prior to me shipping out, my mom gave me her blessing.
Wow.
To go. She still thought I was going to be an MP. That God works in mysterious ways. My mom fell into a coma.
Okay.
And she's there to this day.
Wow.
And I understand now that if she would have been awake for all this, she would have suffered a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just it might sound weird that I say I'm glad that she is in the coma, because she's the reason that I'm here today.
Definitely.
And I strongly believe this. There's plenty of times when I shouldn't be here to be in this radio station right now.
Sure.
That I am here today.
And
every day I feel her presence.
It's great that you were able to have that connection with your mom, and for her to give you that blessing. I mean, what more could you ask for? You know?
Exactly, man. And I commend you on your strength, man. That's a powerful force you have to be able to do this. And yes, I definitely commend you, man, for this.
So when you joined your mom, right? She was in a coma.
She said it was She before that she had fell into it. She gave me her blessing.
Right.
Said it was good. It was okay. So 3 months up to the time I was leaving, I kind of was thinking I should not go. I should go. I should not go. I should go.
Yeah.
Doctors and everybody was telling me that by the time I got out of boot camp, my mom would be coherent. She would be awake.
Okay.
So that's the biggest thing I had in my mind.
Was that what kept you your drive in basic training? Was that kept you?
I just wanted to. I mean, not every child does everything right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm not gonna act like I was a perfect person. I'm not gonna act like people that put people on these billboards or they passed away and they were straight A students. No, I wasn't.
Right.
But I did my best.
Exactly.
And they told me that she was gonna be awake by the time I was out of boot camp, so that was my biggest anticipation, just to get out and show her what kind of man I became. I'm gonna become somebody. You can be proud of your son.
Yeah.
And no matter what, I'm always gonna be somebody. I'm gonna make you proud of me.
Right.
But it didn't happen. So it was in my mind, of course, that I wish my mom was here. My whole family was there, of course.
Yeah, of
and
course.
even more than what I expected to be there.
Yeah,
It
they're
was a
proud of you.
Very great time. And well, I just kept going with everything. I just kept going with my service. Mom never came out of coma. She's, like I said, she's still there to this day.
Can we go to basic training a little bit?
Sure.
What was that? While you in basic training and you have your house, because I know they desensitize us in training, like not girlfriend or none of that.
Nothing.
Like you're focused on your training. So how did you handle that during your training, knowing your mom was dealing with what she was dealing with at home and your family? How did you focus your attention on your training?
Best way I can put it is I grabbed the bull by the horns.
Yeah.
I mean, I was fighting for a bigger cause than myself.
Yeah.
That's really the ultimate thing. I was trying to make a difference for our nation, for people in our country, so we can do the things that we do, have the jobs that we have, go do our leisure things that we do in our leisure time for whatever
That
things
people
that we
take
do.
advantage
whatever
of,
they
right?
want to do. It's up to them.
Exactly.
It's nobody's business. This is what we fight for. This is what we do it for. Everybody that joins, everybody, not just infantry, every MOS, which is every job in the military, from the freaking grunts all the way up to the office jobs, from the generals down. It doesn't matter. Everybody has a job to do, which makes this wheel grease up and work perfectly.
Exactly, flawlessly, and
So basic training, you grab the bull by the horns. You make it through your basic training. You writing letters to home. Are you making communication to your home?
Yeah,
Oh,
family.
My sister's she's law enforcement.
Okay.
And afterwards she became law enforcement. I had inspired her to become a cop.
Okay.
So that was cool. I kept keeping in touch with her mainly because she was the one that would constantly write to me every day.
Okay.
I mean, it was so she was letting me know mom was good. Every day I had a different op to do. We would
Exactly. Yeah, because I want to.
Mom was still on my mind, but
of course.
Overall, I still had to make sure that I'm moving forward, getting stuff done.
Right.
And at the end of the night, of course, writing that letter. Hopefully, mom's good.
Can I ask you this? Did any of your drill sergeants or your captain, did they know your personal situation as far as your mom?
Oh, of course not.
Okay.
You don't talk to them like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I just wanted to know. Yeah.
It's like, hey,
you got to learn your place. You're a recruit. They're a drill instructor. You keep it separate.
Being the party guy that you said you were before you joined, how long did it take you to transition from civilian to that Marine? A couple of weeks?
No. I was in the ROTC when I was younger. Like I said,
okay,
I knew what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So this is where the wrestling.
So
came
you had
in.
the mind frame.
This is where the weightlifting came in. This is where everything came in. I was making sure that I was physically fit for whatever I was gonna get thrown into.
Because you knew they go through it, right?
So while everybody was waiting to go to that basic training unit, and they not knowing what to expect, you was sitting back knowing, what's
mentally prepared.
Mentally prepared.
Not only that, but I was sitting in the recruiter's office almost every day. I'd go over and just hang out with them. Like, what could I do to make it better?
There you go.
Getting the insight, right? Getting
those motivational movies, going home, watching them on my own. All the stuff blowing up. Like, yeah.
Was it like that? Not in the beginning, of course not.
Oh no. You still got to do that stuff, but at the same time, like, goddamn, I'm getting in trouble.
Yeah.
The physically fit side of it.
Yeah.
What was your being smoked? We call it being smoked. What was your?
We call it being IT'd.
Yeah. So what was your?
Being
what was
thrashed.
your? Yeah. What was your thrash?
Man. I was a squad leader for a while, so man, it didn't even matter if I wasn't even one doing stuff wrong. If somebody in my squad fucked up, then I heard go. Oh, sorry.
No, that's why
it's
you can say
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I told you. You can do that.
All right, if somebody else fucked up, then hey, I was getting the one. I was getting fucked by the big ring.
Right.
Of course.
All for what for all, right?
Oh man, the worst one was I remember when this guy stole cookies from the chow house. That's when the day I got fired.
Oh,
I was like, really?
Cookies?
Yeah, that's
over some cookies.
Over some cookies,
you can get fired for some cookies.
When you get IT'd or smoked, thrashed, whatever you guys want to call it, you got to empty out everything in your pocket. Put it all in your cover, your hat. This guy freaking pulls out crumbs. Oh my lord, where the fuck did these crumbs come from? It's like, what are you gonna do? Crumb these things and throw them in? You that hungry?
It's basic training, man. We don't get those meals come short.
Man, those freaking people.
Yeah. So basic training, being where your family's from, the relating to other warriors of other races, how was that for you?
It wasn't hard at all.
Yeah.
Being from Pomona, California, we grow around different ethnicities, so we're used to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like being home.
Yeah.
And where was basic training at?
MCRD San Diego.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, we have the month in Camp Pendleton,
Right.
where we do our field training there.
Yeah.
Second phase, and then we go back to MCRD San Diego, and we do our the last month, and we become Marines.
Right.
The best time is when you're in second phase, when you get that Eagle Globe and anchor in your hand,
Uh-oh.
and that's the day you know, God damn, I made it.
Yeah.
You
What
feel
was that? What did it feel like when you were looking at that in your
Superman.
hand?
You look at that Superman right now. At the time,
Of course.
that's Superman. I'm Superman right there. Like,
Of course.
nothing
Okay.
can stop me.
Exactly.
It was a commercial, right?
I was ready to do the Captain Morgan stance and stuff, you know?
There you go. Exactly.
You was right. You was ready, right? That was
Yeah.
it. That was the. That was.
Yeah. I know, because like for me, my drill sergeant, we was taking the PT test, and we was almost at the end, and he was like, but I was all hyped, and he was like, calm down, man, you all right, you passed it. I was like, no, you trying to trick me, no, I ain't gonna calm down until I'm done. But you know, he tried to let me know that I had passed and all that, but I wasn't hearing it. No.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that we all as men, we don't have that mindset to just make the minimum.
No.
We're not happy with that.
No.
We'll try to make it above and beyond.
Exactly.
You gotta set the tone.
Exactly.
The tone is set.
Yeah.
We're not even happy with that.
Yeah, right.
We want to go above that.
Exactly. Because to score 100 points for sit-ups, you had to do like 50 in a minute. Almost there, and there's no lie.
50 in a minute.
Yeah, 50 in a minute.
It was the
And I-
70s. It was the 70s.
It was the 70s.
It was the 70s.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, but I almost did 60. I had like
It was the
57.
If it was the 70s, I always hear you
57.
guys saying how hard times were back in the day. What's going
But
on
I
with
did
this?
57.
Hey.
almost a sit up a second. That's how hype I was. And
Let's fast forward. You go through basic. You go through your infantry school.
So we got once I got to infantry, I got stuck there. We had 2 weeks to wait for our class to get picked up, and I was like, I'm not gonna just sit here on my butt. This is bull crap.
Yeah.
You know what? So I got my phone. So I called the guy who was in charge of my recruiting office in Pomona.
Yeah.
I said, hey, Staff Sergeant Salgado, what are you doing? He's like, nothing. It's like, hey, this is Private First Class Chavez. I mean, I'm here to call for a favor. He's like, it's like, you came out of our office, right? I was like, what, you really don't remember me after a couple months?
Right.
Yeah.
He goes, no, you got to understand. We have a bunch of people going through here. I was like, all right, well, that's cool. Hey, Staff Sergeant, I have a quick question to ask you. If it's okay, it's a big favor to me. I'm going to be sitting here just receiving for freaking 2 weeks. Could I go on recruiter's assistance? Hopefully. Therefore, I can do some good for the Marine Corps, plus further my career now. I can better myself in that aspect.
Exactly.
He goes, all right. Within minutes of me calling him and me being in the recruiting office all the time,
Right.
he remembered that. So he calls up right away. Within 15 minutes of that calling him, he calls him up. He's like, hey, you mind sending this guy back to my office for recruiting assistance? We can have him back to you guys by the time the school starts, this and that. So I went back home, and every day got on my Chucks, my Charlies,
There you go.
and just kept pushing the issue. Come on, man, you guys want to join? So I got 3 people to join. From there, month into the School of Infantry, after I picked up my school, I became a Lance Corporal.
Wow.
Congratulations, man.
That's huge, man.
Exactly.
That's huge.
Exactly. So
So infantry, we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Infantry's done. You know, you're at your duty station. That first deployment. What is that experience like on that?
Man, that
When you
first
get that
deployment.
first deployment.
Just so if anybody listening knows who 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines is, 3-5 gets them. That's what we do. We
Yeah.
get
Dark
them.
horse.
Yeah, with Dark Horse.
okay.
We're one of the prestigious, one of the higher decorated units in the Marine Corps, 5th Marine Regiment.
Awesome.
Right.
Anybody knows about it. We have the 5th Marine Fortege, so we're held up to a real high standard.
Definitely.
Man, we got overseas. The first thing I thought to myself when I got off the track, it wasn't even off the airplane. It wasn't none of that stuff. As soon as I got off the track into the fob, and I looked around and noticed that every building around us was 3 stories, I said, "Oh my God, what the fuck did I get myself into?"
Wow.
Right.
Because our ESCO barriers, which are the walls that carry the dirt in them,
Yeah.
they were maybe at most two stories high.
Oh.
So that
Lord.
3rd story at least can see inside everything that was happening in our fob.
Oh wow.
So me and my boy Kerry from Paris, we see that shit. I mean, I'm like, man, Kerry, this is bullshit. He goes, I know, dog. I'm gonna grab my pack and I'm gonna run straight to the freaking hard point. He goes, I'm right behind you.
Right.
So me and Kerry, we just take off. We just run to the wall and we're like, So we just get inside, we put our stuff down, they brief us on what's going on. We roll with the unit that's there before us, getting ready to transition.
Yeah.
And then I remember that we were the first squad to go out, third squad. We were the first ones to go out. It was like I'd say almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
What?
Yeah, it's still dark. The mosque hasn't even gone off yet.
Right.
And I'm the point man. I'm literally in front of the squad taking the
Wow.
spear. That's what I wanted to do. Like I said, I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
What were you thinking when you point man?
Point man.
That's important.
Point man sets routes. Point man sets the grids. He does all the stops you're gonna make. He's the one that does all that stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
So once again, the point man is gonna have a reason to move forward in his career.
Right.
He's already putting himself out there. He wants to be a leader. A leader leads from the front.
Right.
Right? So therefore, I was the tip of the spear. So, I mean, I get out there. It's the first time I've seen an Iraqi in civilian attire just hanging out in the streets. The mosque goes off. I'm walking through the streets, and it's pitch black. Imagine I told you.
Yeah.
What the fuck did I just get myself into? So my mind is still kind of racing, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
This guy just comes out of the shadows, out of this little complex where all these apartments, little
Yeah.
condos, I guess you
Yeah.
call them, whatever. Comes out. I said, what? Pointing right at him. Team leader goes, hey, calm down, warrior.
Wow.
Calm down, Travis. He's just walking to church, man. I was like, no, fuck that.
I mean,
I don't know,
see,
this
that's what civilians don't understand, man. It's not Heartbreak Ridge with Clint Eastwood. There's none of that out there. You know what I mean? This is real situations, and they used to tell us, I don't care if it was a man, woman, or child. If they don't halt, you tell them to halt, and they continue to come. You got two options: you either shoot them, or you just get the fuck out the way.
And this is where people from here, the civilians, let's go, oh, how could you do that? You know what? The day your life gets put in danger, let's see what happens to you guys.
Yeah.
Because you know what? There's only two responses that a human body does. It's either fight or flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you get pushed into a corner, just like I'm pretty sure people seen animals do, when they get pushed in the corner, they're going to attack.
They're going to attack.
Because survival was key.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to live.
Exactly. I don't care who you are and what you say.
For sure.
When you don't know until you get in that situation. And I said this before. It was a couple of months ago. I was at 7th and Metro at the underground train, and when the train from Union Station pulled in, something was on the third rail, and all you heard was a loud boom.
Oh, I would have jumped.
So people, and right away, my attention was there, right? And people started like wondering what was going on. Then it did it again, boom, and then sparks.
I would have gone.
Well, what happened?
Out,
What I
right?
did was because I was
rock, I would have thrown that shit too.
right. So I was standing right in front of the marquee, near the end of it, and it's like the width of it is about 4 or 5 feet wide. So I stood behind that and looked towards to see what was going on because people was running, and I was looking for my exit in an event like that. But my point is because of the military training, right away it kicked in. And I knew what to do because, unfortunately, nobody got pushed on the other side track because that's how panicky people got. Where somebody could have got pushed, even myself could have got pushed onto the track because of somebody freaking out.
Yeah.
Sergeant,
you have anything you wanna say or you wanna ask the warrior anything?
No, I just would like him to go forward with the story because I know that he's going to reach out and touch a lot of warriors that are out there, maybe
Definitely.
in these situations.
Definitely.
Exactly. So yeah.
So continue
Go ahead.
on.
All right,
Continue on with your.
Well, not after a couple. I mean, once you start doing the training missions every day, you get out into the streets. You start getting used to it.
Do you really get used to it?
You do.
Yeah.
You get used to it. It's an everyday
Well,
thing.
you get used
It's
to it.
like
You get
people-
cold to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
a gang. It's like it just people can relate to this. Think of a gang member. Everybody knows a gang member or knows of gang members. How you think of them? How could they do that every day? Why would they? Why would they put themselves in that stupid situation to get killed or hurt or anything like that?
Yeah.
But we did the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
Exactly.
They get used to it.
Exactly.
So-
Like you said, you get cold to it. You get numb.
And you accept death. You accept that death is gonna come when it comes. It's not up to you. It's not up to whether you want it to or not. It's gonna come whether you come, and you just gotta keep rolling every day.
Did you have a conversation with yourself about that? Did you accept it in yourself, or is that?
Me, my boy Kerry, Mean Face, and then Corey, we would all talk about it.
Yeah.
That was our fire team.
Yeah.
So then we would talk about, like, man, dude, we almost got blown up. Fuck. Well, let me go into. Well, after being there, like I said, a couple months, you start getting desensitized to the whole situation.
Okay.
And then that's when stuff starts getting real. You accept the fact that stuff's gonna happen, and you hear about it happening in different AOs with friends that you've had, that you trained with, that you went through everything with, and it hurts. It hurts inside because I don't know if anybody's ever seen Band of Brothers that's listening to us on the radio, but it's literally even closer than that. You're literally living with family. That's family.
Right.
Oh yeah.
People that you live with for months and months on end. They're maybe family might not like this, but sometimes they're even better than family.
Yeah.
Exactly, because that's something positive that I can say about the military, because it was guys that I've met and never knew before I was willing to die for, and vice versa. They was willing to die and take a bullet
For me.
for me, and vice versa. And that's something that the civilian world don't understand. Like you said, even our family members, won't and can't understand. Now, how can you say you're going to take a bullet from this guy that you just met?
Let him. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm
Continue.
sorry.
So then, this is around February timeframe, about 28th of February, 25th, 28th. I can't remember the exact date right now. I was always in charge of post 3. That was my post. I would always look out into the marketplace and see what's going on. The rover, my boy Cardelli, rest in peace. That day was my day to rove out with him, switch out. And as soon as we set post, I'd say about 10 minutes into the post, it wasn't even that long, he calls in, hey, Rovers, post 3. I was like, Roger, send your traffic. He goes, hey, I think I'm getting shot at. Okay, do you hear snaps, pops? What do you hear? He starts explaining what he starts hearing. And I was like, okay, well, keep your head down. It seems like it's pretty close. Call Cobra Vic. Hey, Cobra Vic, we need to go outside. Cardelia might be getting shot at. Let's go check it out. There, we got our gear on, flags, Kevlars, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
We get out there. You're not supposed to go outside the wire.
Right.
Unless you have your team with you at least. And we just said, fuck it. Let's go check, make sure nobody's around the HESCO barriers. So we went outside the wire, making sure. And I'm looking at Cardelli before I walk out, and he's flipping me off. Marine Corps humor.
Right.
So I go, what? I just put my hands up like, what? And say, flip him off too, say, fuck you too.
Right.
That when we came back in, I look up at the post, and he's not there. And I called him up, and I said, post 3. Post 3 is Rovers. Nothing. Then I called him again and said, post 3, this is Rovers. Nothing. So I called post 4. This is Rovers. He says, yeah, send your traffic. I was like, you got eyes on post 3? He goes, no, not right now. I was like, well, go outside and see if you can get eyes on post 3.
Yeah.
Kerry calls out. Cardelli's down. So, me and Vic, we get back in. We close the wire. We run to the building. We run upstairs, and he just laid out. So yeah, he was laid out. So we called the SOG, Sergeant of the Guard. Said, hey, we need quick react up here real quick. Fucking Cardelli's KIA. And we need to bring him down. So Kerry runs from post 4 all the way to post 3 and starts just
Administering.
returning fire to where we thought it was at. As soon as I get up there, start helping Kerry out, I started pulling Cardelli down, and then the shots started coming from the side building, and we're getting shot at, so I had to duck back into the post.
Wow.
finally, finally, Kriak comes and we used to call this guy Sweet. You would always think he was a sweet guy because he was always just tall, always smiling, and comes up with a saw and starts letting him down to the building, suppressing fire, so that I had a chance to get credit Charlie from the flag. Pull him to the edge of the building, get on the ladder, and firemen carry him down. Once Kennedy got there, he started helping me. When I grabbed his head, but two of my fingers went into his skull, and it was just, oh my God, I don't even know how to explain that.
That's where the shots were taken.
He got shot right in the face, what we call the off switch. Right in the eye. Exit one was in the back of the head, and it was, and that's when it really started getting real.
I mean, so you talk about the reality of it, and then when it really happens, it's totally different vibe, right?
Yeah,
totally
exactly.
different.
It's one thing hearing it happen
Right.
to somebody. And
Then do you want to take a break right now? You want to take a break?
I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I'm good.
So talking about it and actually living that experience in that moment, two totally different worlds, man.
It is. It is.
It's easier to talk about now. Thanks to Sergeant Major getting me the help that I needed. When at first I wasn't afforded it. When I asked for it, I was told, stop being a bitch, pussy. Really? Me? Being a bitch or a pussy?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Really?
Now, who said this to you?
These were the higher ups that we had at the time.
Oh, okay.
So you reached out for help, for support, for.
I came back from my deployments drinking like a fish and smoking like a chimney. Mind you, I was one to never do that at all. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. If anybody would even put anything by them in my mouth, I would literally slap them.
Right.
Because they knew what I wanted to do. They knew where I was going to be.
Exactly.
So don't deter me from my goals.
Right.
But my family can just tell that I wasn't. Junior didn't come back from the military. He didn't come back.
Yeah.
This is a whole different guy coming back. And what's wrong? Why don't you want to talk to us? Why don't you want to speak to us? Why do you keep getting angry? Why are you so emotionally? Why are you so reserved? We're here. We're here to help you. But it's just hard to talk about, especially with people that don't understand you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They hear you, and they're listening. I'm not saying they don't, but they don't understand.
What was your thought process when you went to your leadership for support, for help, and they gave you that,
It gave me the most sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
It made me think, really? The brotherhood? What brotherhood? I did everything you asked of me, even suicide missions. And you're telling me that I'm a pussy? I'm a bitch? Really? Man, I wish you would be next to me. I'll show you the bitch. I bet you're the one that's going to be shooting himself trying to get back into the States.
Oh, wow.
Which happens.
Yeah, all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
It does. It
Not
happens.
everybody has a mindset to freaking go on with everything. Some people don't. And
No, they don't.
Everybody deals with it differently.
Definitely.
Everybody.
So you're back home with your family after this experience. How does life start to alter for you in the downward spiral? What do you think was the turning point?
Everything. I can't really just pinpoint one thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, the person that went to the military didn't come back from the military.
Yeah.
I love being out social. I love being around people. I love interacting with people. I love talking. I love laughing. I love partying. I love going on adventures. Just being an outgoing person that I was. All I wanted to do was drink myself to sleep and stay in my fucking room.
Yeah.
I didn't eat. I didn't do any of that shit because I was in survival mode. I was still in Iraq. And my mind was still in Iraq.
Yeah.
Hearing motors on base, I would wake up scared as shit, pulling motherfuckers off the racks. Get the fuck down, incoming.
Right.
It just overall, it changed me completely. And then to top it off, I'm having my family tell me, hey, don't worry about it. Just don't think about it.
Right.
How can you possibly say that after what I've been through? Don't think about it. It's not like it was just some little measly thing. It's something that I'd lived. it's a part of my life now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
life experience.
And
for
that's
sure.
something that I as a military person don't get that concept of civilians. And I try to explain. I said, imagine you and I right now, we're talking, and all of a sudden, for no reason, I get my hair blown the fuck off. You mean to tell me that's not going to affect you? So how can you tell somebody that they don't worry about it? It's not. It's impossible.
I want to go back just a little bit. When you were growing up and you knew you wanted to join the service, what was that experience for you back then? Like the ROTC, I know you did in school, but mentally, like, was there something there for you as a kid? Like, you know what, this is my drive. This is, you know, what was there for you as a kid?
Honestly, I'm not even too sure.
Nah.
Because everybody was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, I'm the first person in our family to join the military. The first one. So, I mean, nobody can even fathom the fact that it had been. It's almost surreal to everybody. Even when I talk to my family back home, and not back home, excuse me, my distant family in Mexico, I tell them I'm a Marine. They go, holy crap.
Right.
Really? Yeah. Like, never would have thought anybody in our family would have done something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's unique about Lewis is just like any other veteran, if they reach out and try to get the help and they get turned away or they don't get the satisfaction they're looking for,
Exactly.
they wind up taking matters in their own hands, which he did.
Yeah.
So going back to that, I mean, once I got told no, I mean, it's almost like if they isolated me.
Right.
They didn't want to. Back in the day when this whole war stuff started and everybody started coming back with PTSD, nobody knew how to deal with it. Nobody knew what it was.
Right.
So they thought it was just us being a plague to the rest of everybody else.
Right?
Yeah, suck it the fuck up.
Suck it up, warrior.
Yeah.
So when I started telling people how I felt, like I was actually speaking in my mind. I wasn't afraid to. Well, they said, hey, you're being a plague. So they started cornering us in third deck, the very corner of the squad.
Nah.
Yeah. So everybody that was pretty much coming back with those symptoms was up there, whereas everybody else was in the lower decks going on with their training.
What?
So it almost felt like, to me, it felt like the walls were closing in on me. Like
Yeah.
I was being trapped, and if I didn't leave, if I did not go UA at that very moment, I was gonna kill myself. That's hands down, not a joke, not a game, on some real shit. I said, what the fuck am I still here for? Why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
And not only that, not only the PTSD thing, but now I gotta remember my mom, everything else.
Right.
Why is this happening to me? So now as I have all these factors zeroing in on me and just crushing me on the inside, feeling like I have 1,000 pounds on my shoulders that I have to carry,
So you bail.
I fucking took what I needed to survive, because I knew I was going to be UA. And I knew I didn't have I wasn't going to go home. I wasn't going to do any of that shit. They're going to find me there. Come on, they traded me to be a survivalist. I'm going to fucking survive.
So you're out.
I got all my stuff, got in my vehicle, and took the fuck off. Came back a couple months later, trying to do it on my own. My sister was helping me at the time. Some sergeant called her, telling her that I was UA. So she's like, "Well, you got to go back." So that's pretty much practically how it happened. Somebody called. She's like, "You got to go back." She took me back. Nothing was actually like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna help you do this." Nothing.
Right. No help. Just get back.
So as I get there, it was like, it wasn't scary because, I mean, they're just people.
Right.
But overall, I got worried because I was more nervous because I didn't know what was going to happen. It was the fear of the unknown.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got there kind of late that day. So the next day I meet my first sergeant. Lo and behold, this first sergeant was a first sergeant that was in my unit prior to me getting to this new unit that I showed up to.
Oh wow.
And when he's like, Chavez, when he saw me, like, Chavez, I remember you. And I was like, yo. So I started telling him, hey, sir, first sergeant, this is what's going on, blah blah blah. He goes, you think you're gonna help you? You let all your Marines go back overseas and possibly die. Why should we help you when you let your boys go over there and die? Nah, man, you know how shitty that made me feel?
What?
I was like, man, so now I'm feeling fucking shittier because now I have friends going overseas and I feel like I let them down.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I just kept getting messed with. They were kinking my liver for no freaking reason. And I started going back to the drinking. And I already knew that was already being negative.
Did you bail again?
I took off again after about 6 months since
But
I wasn't getting the help that I was getting. I wasn't getting afforded anything. Not only that, but the discharge process was taking forever, and then they're messing with me. So now I'm getting back to the point. Got into a couple physical altercations because of my just being stressed out, not knowing how to deal with it. That's my anger. It's all we know how to do is anger, fight. So I said, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing here, and took off. Went back and came back after like 7 months again. Same thing happened.
What were you doing while you were out?
Trying to survive. Trying to survive by any which means necessary.
Just underground.
Underground.
Working?
Yeah.
Like hiding?
Under the table, doing odd jobs. By the time that everything started getting better, I would say it was toward the time that I met Sergeant Major. I was working at swap meets. Crazy as it is.
Right.
I was working for somebody at the time. So not only did I adapt and overcome that situation, but I went above and beyond. And now I'm being dead serious.
Right.
I started making off $30 a day. Think about that. $30 a day. How the fuck do you live off $30 a day? That was just enough for food during the day. From there, it started going up and up and up to where I started making $100 a day. Crazy, huh? And that's what I live off of. And that's what I live off of. I started renting my own room out of somebody's house. Bought my own bed, got a couch.
And you still AWOL.
And I'm still AWOL.
No IDs.
No ID.
Nothing to my name. I'm literally an immigrant at this time. Bullshit immigrant.
Wow.
I went to somewhere to buy a fake ID. So
this
I can have some kind of identification.
Right.
Went and bought a real social. I know as illegal as it sounds, but it was a time in my life, and I never used it because I didn't need to.
Right.
I found a way to make it without having to have anything on my side. So I started working for this guy, and he's seen that I'm hardworking. I'm doing everything well. I'm fast, learning everything real fast, getting his price, getting the lingo down, because now I have to speak Spanish to an ethnicity of family. With my Spanish is okay, but it wasn't as good as it got.
Yeah.
So I'm telling him, hey, I'll sell freaking fire to the devil and ice to Eskimos. You tell me what you want to sell. You tell me what it is, and I got you. Towards the end of that, he was leaving me with his spot. I was managing his spots.
What?
From there, like I started making $100 a day, working 7 days a week. So I was making $700 a week. From there, I started looking around and I started noticing people. Well, they're getting this merchandise from somewhere. Okay?
Right.
They're making their money. I'm making okay money. I'm not making their money.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, I started befriending people using my own networking skills that I have from the military.
Right.
And I started applying into the freaking swap meet life. Well, eventually I got good with somebody who helped me get my foothold into buying clothes. Hurley, DC, Ezekiel, actual name skater brands that you can actually find in big stores, retail stores. Well, these places have like quarterly annual sales where the stuff that's been left from the season before it's going to be sold at a wholesale in bulk.
Yeah.
So you can buy a pound of clothes for $10. Size shirts for ours as men, it's about 3 to 4 shirts in 1 pound. So now I'm 300, 400% of my increase on my profit. So now, not only did they bring me to the water, but I started drinking. So now I have my own little stand. I'm selling my own stuff. Now I'm successful. But, of course, I had my own little issues with my wife and so something happened where she just left me, and that really just made me, my PTSD I crashed.
Yeah.
Once again, I was like, you know what? I want to kill myself. I called a suicide hotline. Somehow I just saw that, and I think this commercial, that U.S., what is it?
For the Los Angeles County Department of Military Mental Health?
I think that's what it is.
Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health.
Yeah. And it towards the end of that, it says that we owe it to all the brothers that didn't make it back so that we live our lives to the fullest.
Yeah.
I know that I was doing what I had to do, but it wasn't my full potential.
Yeah.
And I just started calling around. I made about 40 calls that day trying to get some help.
Wow.
Finally, somebody connected me to somebody else who connected me to somebody else, which is that lady is still my therapist to this day. And I have a social worker who's still my social worker to this day, which ultimately was the best thing ever because they introduced me to Sergeant Major Schickel.
Yeah.
And due to Sergeant Major Schickel, I'm here today.
Okay, good. And this was over how many Months, years.
Years. UA period, over 3 years.
What?
Okay.
Back and forth.
Back and forth for 3 years.
The longest duration was 3 years, though.
Right.
So
Amazing,
3 years,
man.
7 months, and I think 6 months, something like that.
Because he started in 05.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you at today with this? Because Sergeant Major went to. You meet him. He goes to fight. He goes to battle
Sergeant
with you.
Major,
I mean,
Sergeant Major made me believe in leadership again.
Yeah.
Made me believe in genuine people.
Yeah.
Sergeant Major, I remember when I met him. It's the funniest thing ever. I mean, you've been in the military, you should know.
Okay.
Somebody up that high, you don't talk to.
Right.
You stay clear from them, any which way necessary.
Right.
So they tell me we're gonna introduce you to the Sergeant Major. He's also a cop. I'm like, holy.
You're like, uh-oh.
And I said, whoa. I was like, oh no, dude, you can't do that.
Double whammy.
Do you know where I'm dealing with?
First of all, they're like, okay, we're gonna introduce you to this guy who's gonna help you out in so many ways. I'm like, yeah. And then I go, he's a retired sergeant major and he's a cop. I said, oh, what the hell are these guys trying to do to me? So they pick me up, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I was nervous as hell. I was ready to jump out the fucking car. I was like, fuck this. This guy, and I was honestly, you know what? I put myself in a situation where I sat in a corner and I got blocked off, so that I can literally stay, because I was ready to get the fuck out of there. I could just, he would have probably been like, oh my dude, you can't go anywhere. I was like, good luck trying to catch me.
Jeez.
So he gets in, he starts introducing himself. Real quick, he came up because I'm Sergeant Major Schickel, very aggressively, just shakes my hand.
in your space, right?
And he's just standing up over me, and I'm like, all right, Jay, just stay there. And I'm looking at him like, all right, he's over there getting coffee. I can at least jump over the freaking table and take off still. So him, Lance, and the Marine come back. They're sitting down, and he starts talking to me in a manner that I've never been talked to by somebody in his status.
Yeah.
Somebody in his position that made me feel so comfortable that I felt powerful.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's right.
I felt
Of
stronger.
course.
After that day, I felt stronger.
Of course.
Gave me a reason to I'm not alone. I'm not.
Yeah.
And man, when he went back there, he was just making me feel comfortable. Not only that, but he brought somebody for me to feel that it's okay. He brought another veteran, Alex, to make me feel more comfortable.
Exactly.
Talk about his stories. And that's ultimately sometimes what we need. Yeah. Somebody that can relate to our stories.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's it. Because we can talk to civilians, like I said earlier, but they'll never understand.
Yeah.
So this actually made me feel better as we're getting there. Once we got on the base, it kind of hit the fan again. I was like, fuck. But Sergeant Major just kept taking me around to the places where I needed to go and introducing me to these people that he was genuinely trying to help me.
Yeah.
Genuinely trying to help me. To me, you guys may think, oh, well, people help.
Nah.
No.
In my mind at that time, fuck people.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't want to hit nobody. I'm fucking my own shit. I mean, even my family. Go back. You know what, motherfucker? You go back.
You go back, right?
You want to go back so fast? Get your ass up and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you go back.
Leave me alone. I'm not asking you for food.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you for shelter. I'm not asking you for water. I'm not asking you for a right. I ain't asking you for shit. So leave me alone. I'm surviving on my own.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, in his situation, I'm glad that he believed in me, because we did what we had to do. I brought him back to Camp Pendleton, turned him back over to, the Marine Corps authorities. And, that was basically what started the success for him to get the help he needed with the Wounded Warrior Battalion, and just everything that he needed to do and to be where he's at now. I mean, it took both of us, him believing in me,
of course,
and me believing that he was going to adhere to what he needed to do.
That connection, man, you can't beat that connection, can you?
No.
So we get there, and Sergeant Major goes talks to my first sergeant from Alpha Company, who I was going to be at separations platoon. I guess he lets him know the whole lowdown, making sure. And if you're listening to me today, First Sergeant Santiago, thank you very much for everything you've done. You've been a very inspiration for me, and just you're the best, man. Thanks for never giving up on me. So Sergeant Major talked to First Sergeant Santiago and got him going, pretty much spun him up on what's happening with me.
Right.
We got there. First Sergeant was making sure that I was going to my therapy classes, making sure I was going to my therapy classes, and making sure I was going to my therapy classes. And as much as I'm recruiting that right now, it was a problem trying to get to my therapy classes.
Right.
Because the Marines that were in charge of me, they're not taxi drivers, but yet an NCO in the Marine Corps is supposed to take care of his Marine by way any which way necessary.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
No matter what,
Yeah.
that's your job. This is
Right.
why you become an NCO.
But I'm not gonna taxi you to your
Yeah,
appointment.
but I'm not.
Right.
So
it makes no sense.
yeah. So first sergeant kept getting on everybody's ass like, you're gonna take him, you're gonna take him, you're gonna take him. He kept calling me every. This is why I like first sergeant so much. Every morning, 6 a.m. did not fail. Fucking call from first sergeant. How you doing today, son? Good. All right. If you need anything, give me a call. You know my number. Not only that, I had 2 freaking higher ups.
Right.
You know how good I felt.
That's right. That's right. That's
Now
right.
I got a sergeant major and a first sergeant. Oh hell yeah!
Got your best. They got your best
doing the cat
interest.
daddy, man.
Oh, you cat daddy.
So, yeah, I
That's
started
good.
going to my classes. And that's the thing. The first thing that they told us in class, if you want to really get better, you got to hit the bull by the horns. Man, as soon as my class didn't start till February. I was already in there in January.
Yeah.
I was going to freaking other people's classes just to take classes.
There you go.
I was like, I'm
There
gonna
you go.
I'm gonna just keep going. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You know, I belong here.
I'm here.
Kick me out there.
That's right. There you go. There you go.
Amazing.
So, I mean, at this moment, Sergeant Major had pretty much coordinated that I was going to get a general and honorable conditions to make sure I had my benefits so that on
Yeah,
the
there you
transition
go.
out,
Of course.
I can keep going on my mental health
Exactly.
and my physical well-being as well.
Exactly.
Well, we get this full board colonel. Awesome guy. Yeah, right. I don't know what's wrong with this guy, how big the stick up his butt is. But even though everybody else wanted to give me my good discharge,
Yeah.
he wanted to fuck me in the butt and just give me an OTH. Other than honorable.
Other than honorable.
Other than honorable.
Really? You show me what you've done there, sir. Tell me what makes you rate better than me when I was out there kicking doors and you're probably up in the fucking camp making sure strategic stuff is ready to go. Really? You're gonna tell me I don't rate? You need to take a second look at yourself. So I'm fighting this guy. I should have been out of the Marine Corps from that January time frame to no later than March.
Right.
Well, so when I found out this was gonna happen, I said, you know what? Sergeant Major's like, you know what? Don't let that happen. Don't allow it. Don't allow it. Keep fighting, warrior. Gave me more of a reason to, you know what? I'm not gonna let it happen.
Right.
I'm gonna keep fighting. So I said, you know what? I requested this administrative separation board.
Wow.
So after that came up, I mean, we waited for that process to come up, and we prepared for it. And what's it called? People that spoke on my behalf, pretty much what the colonel was trying to do, they were just getting slapped down every time.
Right.
The prosecutors were so heated, the fact that they couldn't get anything to stick, because I beat my administrative separation board.
Right.
So I got a 12-month suspension to get an honorable. So therefore, they allowed me to think about it. They allowed me to stay a whole nother year to get an honorable.
Right.
If I wasn't worth that friggin' effort or even the time, then why would they allow me that?
Right.
So,
And don't forget that you got promoted too.
oh,
You got promoted.
and I'm getting promoted. Out of all these things I'm doing, I'm still getting promoted.
On the way out.
Not only that, but they're putting me in charge of the SEVs guys.
On the way out.
On the way out. They're telling me, hey, we need this. We need this to happen.
True warrior right
They're,
there.
hey, we need
To the end.
First sergeant called me up. Hey, we need these guys to go do this, and that. Roger that. Got you, first sergeant. It happens.
That's you.
Hey, calls me up. Hey, Chavez, we need this to happen right now. Go find them. Go get them over there and make sure it happens. Roger that.
That's you.
That's me.
On the way out.
On the way out. If they needed anything done at medical, if the people would go on their own, they would get sent back. If I'd go with them, they'd be in medical that same day on the way out.
On the way out.
all these things are on the way out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
There you go. Well, I mean, I don't want to, it's almost that time.
Is it almost time?
Yes, yes,
Just
yes.
Can we get like another
Let me, all right,
120
just
seconds?
let me finish this.
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
let me
right.
finish.
So then the colonel tries to get me out again. He tries to get me out with OTH again. So then, he sends it up to general as a recommendation. General goes, hey, you know what? A general himself, that's a 1-star general, telling him, you know what? Go suck yourself. He's getting a general and honorable.
Wow.
He's a freaking warrior. He's done what he's done. And there's no way we're going to do wrong by him.
Can't.
Not only that, Sergeant Major here, every time just throwing paperwork out there like, hey.
So I made you no joke, huh?
He's the man. Right.
Anything you want to say to the warriors out there, man? Let them know the system works.
If anybody
man.
has any problems, man, and you have,
Let them know.
don't feel despaired. Reach out. If you have heard my story, there's always hope for you, and we're here to help. I'm here to help. whichever way, anything you need, we're here for you guys. We're all brothers in arms, and we never should let anybody of us get down on our luck. Brotherhood of the Marine Corps, brotherhood of the services. We're all here. We all do the same thing. Everybody stay motivated.
For sure. Sergeant Major, man,
Like I said, it's not about me though.
Amazing guy.
It's about the resources.
Exactly.
You know? And knowing how it works.
Exactly.
Knowing how it works. So,
Louis, man, thank you, man, for coming.
Hey, whenever you guys need to,
You're welcome back anytime, man.
I'd love
The
to.
whole month, we got more guests coming. If you can come and hang out
matter
with
of
us
fact,
in the studio.
Alex, who went with him when we turned the back order Camp Pendleton, is going to be on your show next weekend.
If you want to come that day, man, you're more than welcome to sit here with us,
definitely,
man, and chill with us,
Exactly.
man.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for having me here,
Honor,
guys.
man. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here. This is Trench Talk. Van, man, thank you
Yes.
for running the system back there, man. Appreciate you. Trench Talk next Saturday, 13:30, all month, PTSD, PTS, right here on Trench Talk. Shout
That's
out
right.
to my Marine Corps
Stay
family.
strong.
There you go.
Stay
All right,
strong.
to all the warriors, we're here to help you. Send me an email, wdconscd@gmail.com. You got any questions, any support, 323-215-5384. That's my cell phone number. Call me, text me, whatever you need. We're here for your support. Thank you.
All right. Later.